Hello, hello, hello. It's beautiful to have you here with me. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And welcome to your December Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine reading. I feel as though this week I fell into another layer. And I feel as though this coincides with a very big shift in our experience here for anybody that feels as though they are connected to the light. So I want to say thank you for being here. If you're here, you're supposed to be here. And I appreciate you greatly. And I'm going to just get out for this month of December the channeled Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine spread, born 3 years ago in December 2015. I'm here to give you what you need, not always what you want. I'm also a human being. So thank you for being here. I'm going to choose this middle card. We're going to get these cards out for this month. I promise you, these are the purest, clearest messages I have the ability to give. And for me, this is a holy space. And I thank you for meeting me here. Oh, thank you. First card for the Divine Masculine this month is the Four of Pentacles. Second card for the Divine Masculine this month is Ten of Cups. I haven't really used this Divine Masculine term before this month or this week. It's happening. It's the third card for the Divine Masculine this month, the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Fourth card for the Divine Masculine this month, the Queen of Cups. First card for the Divine Feminine this month, the Hierophant. Second card for the Divine Feminine this month, Temperance. Let's have a look at these major arcanas. Third card. Oh, maybe there's another one. Yes, there is. Third card for the Divine Feminine this month, the Emperor. Whoa. Is it a 4 for 4? I don't think it is. No. Fourth card for the Divine Feminine is the King of Wands. Crowning card. The energy the feminine brings to the table. The Root card. The energy the masculine brings to the table. You shall reveal later. I want to say thank you again for being here. Let's see what is here. First card for the Divine Masculine for this month of December 2018. 3 years since I've been doing this spread. The 3-year anniversary starts off with some stillness, with some holding back. The masculine starts off the month by playing his cards very close to his chest. He's holding on. He is not revealing much. He's not revealing his plans. He does have plans. There is some fear involved in this card. There is some hesitation. There is some fear. It's fear of freedom, actually. He's been holding on to his way of life. We have collectively been holding on to a patriarchal way of life, actually, for a while. This is us holding on to what we know. This is us holding on to our security. I work with people one-to-one. And it's incredible. There are many people that believe they're living an intuitive life, but really they're living this kind of intuitive frosting on top of this very, very, I've got to say it, boring cake. And not boring, it's just a very it's unconscious. It's an unconscious cake. Their life essentially is a very unconscious cake, and they covered it in this intuitive quote unquote frosting. What this card represents is holding on to systems, constructs, ideas, the practical world. This card is full of this city. It's this world that we've built. And it represents that we're just holding on just that little bit longer to this system, to this patriarchal the old way. I'm going to call it the old way. I'm going to call it, I feel as though we're stepping into a new world. This is more about holding on to what we can call the old world. What's the role of the feminine at this time? Well, the Hierophant, the feminine starts off with, the Hierophant is the teacher. The Hierophant also represents structure to me within my readings, also represents marriage, commitment, togetherness, represents commitment, represents structures, represents teaching. It's a higher energy, it's a major arcana, and she is the one which grounds in a very light way the holy ideas. I want us to release any ideas of judgment, because it's essentially who we are being, the roles we are playing are beyond our control for the most part. And so it really doesn't matter which character we're playing in this beautiful game of life. It matters that we can see those dynamics. And this is what this reading is really about. And it's to give us a little bit of a heads up. So the masculine is holding on a little bit. He knows the truth. That the holy truth has been revealed to the masculine. There has been like a lightning strike for the masculine. I don't know how I'm going to get this out. I will find a way to get this message out. There has been an enlightening lightning strike. Conscious or not, he may be aware of it or not, but it has hit and it's done. This 4 just represents a little bit of time. It's a little bit of holding on to the practical reality that we know. It's a collective holding on. It may be that he's kind of holding on to it more. So that the way that it may play out in the dynamic is that he's just holding on to the practical reality. You know, this is the practical reality. This is the way that it is. The higher ideal is held by the feminine to begin with. But it's important that we take this. I was going to say it's important that we take this with us, but I actually don't think we're going to. We are in a process of transition to this month of December into the new world. This is a huge shift into a completely different level of consciousness. And we must be patient and compassionate with ourselves during this transition. We might be holding on to ideas of the old world, but that's okay. It doesn't matter who's holding on to ideas of the old world and who's holding the higher ideal. It's just the dynamic and the way that it's playing out. The phrase I keep hearing about this card for the Divine Masculine is he's playing his cards close to his chest. with this one, initially. And it's literally that he has his hands full. So the excuse may be, or the story may be, I'm busy. But he is busy. He actually is busy. He literally has his hands full. The reasons behind that are unimportant and actually irrelevant. But it is true that he has his hands full, and that is his role right now, to be the one that has his hands full. Second card, though, for this masculine energy is this Ten of Cups. He fully realizes that it is possible to live the dream, his dream of heaven on earth in relationship. It is, in fact, possible. It is possible to align with this practical reality. I do believe it requires that he puts down his coins, but the practical reality becomes the emotional dream. I feel like I have this impulse to turn this card around as though I want to see their faces, which is kind of interesting. I feel as though this card is going to become animated. It's going to start moving. It's almost like the 10 is arrived upon, but it will be lived. It will become even more. It's almost as though it will become 11. It will go up one stage further. I almost feel as though this new world has moved beyond the tarot as we know it. It's almost as though there aren't enough numbers. It's one more. It's one more than everything that has ever been. It's pretty incredible. Second card for the feminine here is Temperance. Balance. The masculine and feminine energies working together. The big story here for the feminine is she is to teach the balance of masculine and feminine, and in that balance, then it really doesn't matter which masculine or feminine energy we embody. The masculine is arriving. The masculine is arriving. I feel as though she is going to know him in a completely different way. He is going to arrive in her experience. The phrase I keep getting is daddy's home. The father is home. Daddy's home. You know? It's this trustworthy, powerful, loving, generous, giving Father God. And she feels him deeply within her being. He is born from this balance that she finds, drawn to that kind of, I don't really know what one would call that. I want to say third eye, but it's kind of beyond that on the angel there. It's this just perfect balance, brightness, clarity. The mix of duality. There's no right and wrong. Yes, there are two sides. Yes, there are two cups, but life flows between the two. It really doesn't matter which side we're on, which identification we choose, masculine, feminine, right, left, it really doesn't matter. There's this incredible sense of holiness, and from that, this Father God appears. I knew this Father God energy was appearing. I could really feel it. The irony is that this is the end of the patriarchal system as we have known it. Because the patriarchal system was essentially about this energy, but in a fear-based controlling way. To be in control, to lead, is not necessarily to be controlling. It is about leadership, it is about guidance, it is about feeling supported by this Father God. I knew he was going to arrive, as I said. I wasn't quite sure where, but he really arrives for the feminine. I feel as though that could be a figure that arrives in her experience, or this experience of this powerful, grounded, leading, way shower energy in the feminine. It really doesn't matter how, but he is here. The masculine experience is of great high points and new beginnings. He is really realizing the big shift for the masculine in this December 2018 is the integration between his emotional experience and his practical experience. There's a new world, a new practical reality that's born from the dream. It's as though the masculine energy has been asleep for, I'm going to say 3,000 years. Maybe more. Maybe 3 or 4, I'm not sure. Sorry, I need to take a little drink here. It's as though this dream, he just didn't believe in this dream. It's almost as though he is the bigger romantic. But somehow, this dream of togetherness, of marriage, of oneness, of union, of completion, of everything, of overflowing joy and freedom and togetherness, and this beautiful earth. It's as though that dream was taken away, was completely kind of like put under a stone. But now there isn't any opposition between his emotional experience and his practical experience. It's as though he puts these pentacles down. This is about the end of fear in terms of our practical reality, holding back, him holding back his feelings or his restriction of his ability to move, to live freely because of his practical reality. Because of his perspective on the practical reality shifts into a more dreamlike, emotional, idealistic place. And from there, from that 10 becomes the Ace of Pentacles. We begin again. The new world is here. And this is what's fascinating. It's connected to this divine masculine energy. I feel as though the patriarchal systemic habits come to an end. But that did not serve feminine or masculine energies in any way. And what happens is a new world. But that new world is very, very much around this Father God energy. Whether we are masculine or feminine, male or female, or no gender, whatever we want to experience ourselves as, we are all born from a father and a mother in some regard. And this father story is powerful. The story of the father. The one we can lean upon, the one we can learn from, the one we can trust, the one that will lead. He is here. We can all feel safe with him. But it does feel as though the feminine is having more of this, I'm going to call it spiritual experience, as in beyond the practical reality. But the masculine's having this very practical experience, which has always been his gift. But this new world is born of him. But it is gifted to us by this Father God. And then what I find fascinating is the masculine then has his Queen of Cups down here on his side, and the feminine, the King of Wands. So there's a masculine figure again on the feminine side, and a feminine figure on the masculine side. I was in two minds whether to even do this masculine feminine spread, because it just all feels so one to me. We truly are all one. But there is still a dynamic that's useful. There's still mirrors. This Queen of Cups on the masculine side is about being love in the world. It is about this feminine receptivity. It is about the emotion. See how he goes Pentacles, Cups, Pentacles, Cups. It's all integrating. It's like the DNA, the structure of the DNA is being reformed and restructured. Our emotional truth is being intertwined with our practical reality. His emotional truth is bonding and intertwining with practical reality. A new world is being born whereby he can live his dream. His emotions are part of his practical, powerful reality. His emotional dream gives him practical power. And he is free to love in the world in a powerful, empowered way. There is more of a feminine energy on this masculine side, and there definitely is more of a masculine energy on this feminine side, and it really doesn't matter where it shows up. This King of Wands is the creative energy. I really feel like these are showing up here to just remind us that we are so one. And in so many ways, this is just always all about us. It's almost impossible for us to view each other in separation. It's all just a mirror. In love, we are different, but we are all seeing aspects of ourselves in another, especially in love, especially in this love. The root energy is the star, the crown energy is the world. I just think this is a new world and the dream is coming true. The new world is here. It is whatever you want it to be. You are free. Absolutely 100% free to be whomever you wish to be. If you can dream it, you can live it. This month, the dream is here. The new world is here. I know it seems as though we've been talking about this for a long time. I personally have stepped through or fallen down through, if it feels like that, to go deeper, another level of life. It feels deeper. And here is this whole new world built upon surrender, built upon openness, built upon our ability to break open and allow the light in. The star is about wishes, it's about miracles, it's about the creator, it's about creativity, it's about beauty, flow, openness, creation itself, the energy of creation. Wish upon a star. Your dream is here to be lived. You are here to live your dream. You may not be accurately aware of what your highest experience here on earth is. If you feel as though your dream is not coming true, it's simply because you are not dreaming big enough. And it's because you must find your authentic self, piece of the jigsaw that fits the whole entire world. Your life must be led in service to all, including yourself. Energy the masculine brings. Interesting, this 7 of Swords. There is still some fear. And fear isn't the right word. Some confusion around his perceptions of love, of the feminine. It's the remnants of the battle. He's moving away from the battlefield, but he's still taking some of the thoughts of the battle with him in those swords. The feminine is the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, very interesting. So it's not actually the feminine. It's the Wheel of Fortune. It's the free fall. It's fate. It's destiny. It's life itself. He's still coming to terms with the fact that he can't control. This is this patriarchal release of control. He's still he's trying to get his head around fate, destiny, life, the mystery, the driving force that is inherently a mystery. The feminine does offer him that window, the mirror to see himself within as just a cog in the Wheel of Fortune, a cog in the wheel, cog in the machine, a pin in the wheel maybe. In this fate, in this destiny, he still would like to work it out. There's still a little bit of conflict in his mind only about this idea of destiny. He's not quite ready to release the idea that he can make things happen, or he is in control, or he is the one to make things happen. If he moves away
It's because he's dealing with that idea. The outcome we have here is this Eight of Cups. This month is about understanding that life is a journey that never ends. There's nothing to find. There's nowhere to go. There's no one to become. There's no union to find beyond what we already have. The present moment is truly the only place that love will ever live. That doesn't mean that we can't go out exploring, but we won't find anything away from what we already have. That is better. It's just different. This 8 represents the seeker. He is, quote unquote, supposed to go on this journey. We are here to journey. But we must learn to journey for the sake of journeying and not for the sake of some kind of win. Especially in this love. It's so subtly here. I feel as though that this is kind of like after the event though. With the world, this is more like, where do we go after we've reached this world? The new world. We're in this new world together. Yes, I feel as though there's a little bit of, this and this. For the masculine, it's just about the logic. The feminine's kind of beyond that, she's just flowing. There's just a little bit of the logic, the mind that's not quite aligning. But then what comes afterwards is that we're just still left with this journeying. The seeking will end, must end actually. The journey of life is one for us to just stop and enjoy together. I truly believe that this new world is about the end of seeking. The end of the future. There is no better future place to get to. How much of your life right now is based upon the future better place that you will get to? How much? There is no future better place. There is now. And within this now moment are layers and layers and layers and layers of everything you could ever dream of. But you will not experience them for as long as your conscious awareness is focused on some other place. The new world is here. If you are not experiencing it, it's because you're focused on a future that will never arrive. The seeker is dead. The seeker must die in order for you to realize the love that you know you are and that you know you deserve to experience in every single way. Put down all your swords. Stop. Be. And I promise you, this new, full world will reveal itself to you. Thank you very much.